Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's video is on the DCT Gearbox, BMW DCT Gearbox. It is not a how-to, but kind of a how to use it, because some people aren't 100% sure on how the gearbox works or how to use it. So really brief background of what the DCT box is. It's a dual clutch transmission gearbox. Basically it's got two clutches. You've got gears 1, 3, 5, like the odd numbers, and 7. They're on one clutch, and then you've got 2, 4 and 6 on the other clutch. The idea is that when you're in first gear, the gearbox can pre-select the next gear, i.e. second, and all it's got to do is just swap those clutches, and you're instantly in the next gear, and everything's ready, quick, snappy, and away you go, sort of thing. You haven't got a torque converter sapping any energy away from the engine, so it's like a manual in terms that it's got clutch or clutch pack, but it's also like an automatic in this case, that it will drive for you, it will change gears for you, because it is computer controlled, i.e. first into second, into third, into fourth. It knows when to do it, so it just saves you having to do it. But if you want to, you can go into manual and do the gear changes yourself, much like a traditional automatic, but I don't know. Anyway, so day-to-day driving, most people will just leave it in D for drive, and it will just drive along in the most sort of economical way. It shifts early, it shifts low in the RPM, and it keeps your engine speed relatively low. So like right now I'm doing 40 miles an hour and I'm in D7, or D6 now, it's just dropped for a little hill, and yeah, the engine is spinning at what we're doing, 1500 RPM, so it's like ticking over basically at 40 mile an hour. That is the most common setting you're going to use in the gearbox. Every day you just put it in D and away you go, sort of thing. The next setting that you've got is you can knock it over into S. Well, it says MS, but when you knock it over, it goes into S1, or whichever gear you're in. So for instance, right now I'm in D6, so drive, gear 6, going up a slight incline. I'll knock it over. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but it's dropped down to 4th gear, so we're in S4 now, or S3 as it drops again. That's basically the sport setting. It holds the revs longer, it changes gear slightly quicker, you've got the power a lot. Whoa, there you go. It's a lot more pokey, it gives you a little bit more throttle response as well. Like I said earlier, holds the gears a lot longer throughout the rev range, and just sharpens things up a bit. It will, however, still change gear for you. So as you're accelerating, for instance, if you're in third, when you get to the right RPM, it will shift into 4th for you. It's not manual at the moment. If, however, while you've got the gear stick over, you then manually change gear, either with the flappy paddles or pushing forward or backwards on the stick, you're then in full manual, which I am now. So I'm in 3rd gear. If I push the gear stick forward or push one of the flaps forward, it will drop to 2nd gear. Full power, full manual control. Instantly caught up the next car. But yeah, that's basically full manual. It will, however, shift down if you're coming like to the traffic lights and you're sat in 2nd gear. It will shift to 1st when it needs to, but other than that, it's pretty much full manual. So right now into 3rd, into full throttle, shift, woo, and there's the speed limit. It doesn't take long. That's uphill as well. Into 7th. Now I'm changing gear at the moment with paddles on the steering wheel. It's a bit weird with this car, in terms of the paddles, they both are the same. A lot of cars there, sort of right is to shift up a gear and left is to shift down a gear, but with this they both do the same. So you push it away from you, the little button, and it will drop a gear, and you pull it towards you to go up a gear. Pretty straightforward. It's quite useful because you can do it one-handed, not you're going to be like, I don't know, you're going to want both hands on the wheel. But if you're sort of chilling and you're in manual, you can't be bothered to reach, you can do it at the other end. Just another little thing. But so the other thing is there is a sport button. So when you're going along, normally everything shifts quite elegantly, smoothly. It's in like a smooth change mode. When you go into sport, so you click your gearbox across, or your lever across into sport, you then push the sport button. That speeds up your shifts, your gear shifts. So I'm sure somebody said to me it's like 0.4 of a second between gear changes. So it's like third, fourth, fifth. Really snappy, and it's the same going down the gears, really fast. When you're dropping gears, or it's dropping for you, depending on what setting you've got it in, it will rev match the engine. So going fourth to third, as you go to shift, it will just split the rev for you to the right RPM or whatever. Just, I don't know, it's quite cool. Sounds good as well when you're going along, downshifting, rev matching. Always good. What else? There's also the P button. It's pretty self-explanatory. Park, just locks your gearbox up when you're parked. I'm pretty sure if you push that when you're going along, it does nothing. But I haven't got the balls to do that. People will be like, just do it, but no, I'm too scared. Because I can't think of a lot worse than locking a gearbox up when you're going along, especially one of these. They're not the cheapest gearboxes to repair. So these gearboxes are pretty good to take power. I've seen DCT cars with stock clutch packs, sort of 500-600 horsepower going through them, but then there's some that are the same power and they've uprated the clutches. There's a lot you can do in the software to do with like the pressure of the clutches, all that sort of stuff that will help, you know, like a basic gearbox remap, that will help take a lot more power for it. But they're pretty indestructible from what I've heard. I've never had any issues with it. The gearbox itself is a get rag. There's a lifetime fluid in there. Now that's up for debate. Some people say lifetime is the lifetime of the vehicle, some people say it's the lifetime of the gearbox. They are serviceable. BMW, I'm pretty sure, don't like to do them, so you'll have to take it to your local indie garage, independent garage, but you're going to want someone that knows what they're doing with that. It takes around 7 litres of DCT fluid. You're going to need IMPA or ISTA to actually do the service, so you need someone that can do that. It's pretty straightforward. It's just that last little bit of you've got to get the oil in below 40 degrees, etc., and you've got to run some pumps, all that sort of stuff. Probably easier if a garage does it, to be honest, if you trust them. But other than that, it's good. I love it. I think it's brilliant. It's like day to day, I've got the comfort of an automatic gearbox. You just chill, drive one-footed if you want, but when you want to get on it, you've got the full functionality of a manual gearbox. You know, shift it when you want. It's not, I've never had it where it's shifted for me, like too early or too late or whatever. It's just, it is basically fully manual when you want it to be. You can really blip through those gears, and it takes all the power as well. There is a difference in 0 to 60 times as well between the manual, the automatic, and the DCT box. Don't quote me because I don't know what they are. I can't remember. I probably should have looked that up. But it's a few tenths of a second quicker with the DCT box, rightly so, because you're shifting those gears so much quicker. You're not losing any lag, or you're not creating any lag on the turbos. You're constantly on boost. There's no dump of boost when you change the gear, nothing like that. It's just full power in the back of your seat the whole way through the gears. So as always guys, thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button below. That'll keep you up to date with any future videos. Give us a like and leave me a comment below if you've got a DCT box and any issues you've had with it or not had with it, and also if you're running any extra power from the car, how much power are you running? Be interested to know. So thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next video.